and let us all do we can to build a better future. All right, so with that being said, let's get started with our first segment. So let's talk about somebody who maybe unintentionally united the left. That's right, we're talking about somebody who, look, we've said some nice things about him, but boy, he really screwed the pooch on this one. Let's pull this tweet up here. We're talking about mayoral candidate Andrew Yang, Yang Gang.
Yang, I'm trying to make sure that I'm aligned with my donors so I win this election regardless of the context of the situation.
Yeah. Also, I want to say this very clear. Look, I'm glad that he brought up universal basic income, but there's much more that his policy could have been done to improve. And look, I'm glad he's talking about Bitcoin and e-currency. That's great. But buddy, looking at this tweet, let's actually read this in its entirety. I'm standing with the people of Israel who are coming under bombardment attacks and condemn Hamas terrorists. The people of New York City will always stand with our brothers and sisters in Israel who face down terrorism and persevere. This came out at 6:28 p.m., May 10th of 2021. And boy, hindsight is 2020. Look, let's be very clear what's happening in Israel and Palestine. Since the state of Israel was created, more of Palestinian land has been taken away. There's no argument, no debate about it. We are witnessing the firsthand apartheid enacting brutal bombardment towards a people who have lost everything. They have no electricity, no running water, no schools, no health care. This is a genocide. This is an extermination. We're seeing land being stolen. There's no excuse for it. And I understand that this is a very tough geopolitical conversation to have, but when we look at, what's it, thousands, I don't know how old that mosque is that was on fire in the background as it's being cheered for its destruction. Yeah. But that's history that can never be rebuilt. And, it says something about right now what we are witnessing. And Andrew Yang.
And the thing that gets me the most is I don't think he actually believes any of it as much as he's talking about. I think that all that's happening, because it's a very new position that only happened once he started running in New York, and if you listen to how he's talked about it, he's like, it's very much I want to get the donors, or we want to give them to my side, so I'm going to stand with Israel no matter what. That's I think he's making just a straight up political calculation. I don't know if he.
Well, see, here's the thing. I get that New York City is a major metropolitan city, but you are the mayor of New York City. You are not the president or prime minister of any other foreign country, Andrew Yang. And now, are you running for that seat? You did run for office of presidency, but I think you need to get understand the bigger picture, what's happening between Israel and Palestine. And this is a very dumb move to make. Of course, right now he is being hyped up as one of the lead candidates to win the seat of office of mayor in New York City. But this is something that makes no sense. And earlier today, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez actually tweeted out saying, how dare he show up to a EID, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, event, and he's being booed.
Yeah, I think... Knowing Yang, he's going to go through the data and the math, and he's going to go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have made that position so boldly. It would have been better if he was just like, I stand for peace in the Middle East, and I would love, as New York, to support both sides and peace or something, instead of saying BDS, if you stand for BDS, you're a terrible person, which, I'm not sure he knows that about a quarter of Jews would be bad people by that definition.
I also want to point out that, again, he's had, because you brought it up, that he's been against BDS. He's also been against whistleblowers, those that spoke out. We know that one whistleblower is in the trial for his life somewhere in the European hemisphere. Another whistleblower is an exile in a certain country on the Asian continent. And thanks to YouTube and its censorship, which, again, because this video is limited now, it's very telling. And again, Andrew Yang, he's always been talking about how we need to have big ideas. But here's a big idea. Why don't you take a step back and look at what's really happening? There's a bigger story that's happening here, and this tweet that he did was extremely tone deaf, and he got it ratioed bad. Look, can we actually pull up that tweet again, real quick, Faze, if we can? I actually want to scroll down and look at the the current likes and retweets and
what's the ratio?
Yeah, let's see the ratio on this one right now. Let's see. 38K likes.
That's a pretty ratioed post.
32,000 quote tweets and about 5,533 retweets.
Yeah,
as
that's
we
a
speak
pretty.
right now.
That's not. Man, I'm going to talk to Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang, you're a math guy. You ran your campaign for president with the math slogan. That math is not in your favor. It is not. They're so used to the idea and the concept that just say you're for Israel and everything will be fine. Doesn't matter what they do. But times are changing, and again, it used to be maybe that you'd get the entire block, which is what he's trying to get. I am not convinced that he actually fully believes this, because again, we would have heard it before in the campaign. What we're seeing here is him just picking a chess move, even if it costs people's lives, if it helps him get elected.
Yeah, and look, it's again what's happening in Palestine. No running water, no electricity, and it's because of the policies done by Israel.
I would love to see like Mexico just start going, no, you were going to take some of this.
Yeah, again, it's not right, and I am concerned about how this is going to play out in the long run. As we are speaking right now, as I've seen on social media, there's still continuing bombardment by the Israeli forces in Gaza. And
and that's the other thing that they always do. They're always like, I literally linked a video in the show notes that we're not covering today, but I thought the video would be interesting for people that want to check it out. It's the State Department talking about this happening right now, and someone literally asked the question, does the U.S. support killing children?
And he was quiet.
And he was just like, oh, well, of course we endeavor to not have anyone in the world with children die. And but it's a developing situation, so we can't comment further. Sorry, not going to talk about it.
And this is a Democratic presidential administration. And mind you, Andrew Yang is a Democrat as well. Democrats, look, maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong how the voter turnout will be in the 2022 midterm election cycle. But with stuff like this, good luck getting progressives. And to those larger progressive networks that were promoting, this centrist pragmatic pathway, how's it working out pushing the Democrats to the left? Because they're not doing it. And even to like conservative outlets, you're calling Biden a socialist or a communist. Like, seriously? Or Andrew Yang a socialist or a communist? No, they're none of those things. I mean, that's all you got. I mean, let's face it. Fox News gave Bernie Sanders a better interview and talk times in 2016 and in 2020. But, all what they had was to say, oh, he's a socialist and a communist. And even now, what's Fox News saying? That somehow Bernie Sanders has secret control over Biden or the Democrats? No, he does not. And again, this tone-deaf tweet done by Andrew Yang really says a lot about our politicians and the current path that the Democrats are walking down.